Sushruta for NEET is now available on the Google Play Store. Try it out for free.
Hearty welcome to biology class. In today's class, we are going to take up the environmental issue. That I was telling about the primary pollutants and secondary pollutants in my last class. Primary pollutants are the pollutants that are formed from the natural sources, whereas the secondary pollutants are the pollutants which are formed by the interaction of the natural pollutants or the natural pollutants with the components of the atmosphere. And I also told you to remember the word PAN, full form of that PAN, that is peroxyacetyl nitrate. I hope you are seeing this screen. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, this is what you have, pollutants and effect on humans. I request you to note down quickly. Once it's over, you please let me know. Who will tell that? Namrata, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You please tell me the moment it is over. You take it quickly. Cotton fiber dust, coal dust. It brings about a lung fibrosis, pneumoconiosis, or byssinosis by cotton dust. Always, you must be very much careful whenever the bed preparation is going on. If at all you are asking any person to come and make the bed back at your home, the fine threads that come out while making this bed from the cotton, that may get into your nose without your knowledge. And always those people who make this bed or who deal with the coal and all, they should be extraordinarily careful to see that they are not inhaling any of these particles. Asbestos fibers causes asbestosis and iron dust causes siderosis. Is it done?
Yes, sir.
So, now yeah, Siddesh,
Yes,
is it
sir.
over? Vishwas.
Yes, sir.
Now we have the another one, granite dust. Granite dust is produced while crushing the stone. You know, people cut these granite pieces, jelly kallu, and they crush it to make these minute particles powder like. And this granite dust, when inhaled, it causes a lung disease called silicosis. In the same way, when the pollutants SO2, NO2, CO are inhaled, they cause respiratory problems. Carbon monoxide reduces oxygen carrying capacity of blood. You know, carbon monoxide has high affinity for hemoglobin. Hemoglobin has high affinity for carbon monoxide. By combining with hemoglobin to form carboxyhemoglobin, the carbon dioxide reduces oxygen carrying capacity of blood. Carbon monoxide also causes dizziness, nervous and cardiovascular problem. Right? Harshvardhan, is it over?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now let us look into the another pollutant, benzopyrene. These are present in tobacco smoke, causing lung cancer. So what you should know, which particular pollutant is present, what is the source of that pollutant, and what is the effect of that pollutant. Pan causes eye irritation, and ozone at a low altitude causes coughing, chest pain, eye irritation, etc. You know, I will be talking about ozone later. Jyoti, is it over? Have you come?
Yes, sir.
Is it over?
Yes, sir.
So, now let us look into the other air pollutant. Airborne spores of fungi, pollen grains from flower. These are also dangerous. Spores of fungi, pollen grains of flowering plants. Pollen grains cause allergic reactions like a hay fever, and the dust might cause allergic respiratory problems. Dust might, this is MIGH, dust might, hay fever, and dust might cause allergic respiratory problems. Lead oxides from smelters, burning of lead batteries, damages liver, kidneys, brain, nerves, and affects the immune system. Affects the immune system, right? Immune system. You make it a dust MIGHT, not mites. Dust might cause allergic respiratory problems. That means it causes in some people, not in all. Lohit, is it over? Lohit, are you there? Lohit. Over? Prithvi? Prithvi? Prithviraj? Lohit? Lohit? ಏನು ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿಲ್ವಾ? ಹಾಂ ಏನು? Yes, is it over? Navya?
Yes, sir.
Kanisha?
Yes, sir.
So, now let us take up how the air pollution by vehicles is controlled. A case study of Delhi. Of course, some information given here is quite old, but we have to remember for the purpose of at least examination. With its very large population of vehicular traffic, Delhi leads the country in its level of air pollution. It has more cars than the states of Gujarat or West Bengal. This is in 2007 or 2000, this is very much before, yes, almost 2000, because the book was written there at that time. In 1990s, Delhi ranked fourth among the 141 most polluted cities of the world. Of course, now it has ranked better. It is still more polluted than any other countries, any other capitals in the world. Air pollution problems in Delhi became so serious that a public interest litigation was filed in the Supreme Court of India at that time. Now let us see what the Supreme Court of India said. After being censured very strongly by the Supreme Court under its directives, the government was asked to take within a specific time period appropriate measures, including switching over the entire fleet of public transport buses from diesel to compressed natural gas. So what the result? All the buses of Delhi were converted to run on CNG by the end of 2002. So at that time itself, 2002 itself, all the buses at Delhi were running under by using compressed natural gas, CNG. 22 of the world's 30 most polluted cities, 22 of the world's 32 most polluted cities are in India. You can understand the gravity of the situation. 22 cities out of the world, 30 most polluted cities of the world are in India. Delhi being ranked the most polluted capital city globally in the whole world. Delhi is the most polluted city, capital city. The report prepared by Swiss organization IQAir, however, shows that Delhi's air quality improved by approximately 15% from 2019 to 2020. Lot of measures are taken there. It doesn't mean that it has to solve the problem. It has reduced this air pollution in 1 year by 15%. Of course, we shall see that how they have done later. It is said that despite improvement, Delhi ranked as the 10th most polluted city and the top polluted capital city in the world. Even today, it is the top most polluted capital city in the world. Imagine what is the impact of these pollutants on the people of Delhi. IQAir is a Swiss air quality technology company. It is a world company specializing in protection against airborne pollutants, developing air quality monitoring and air cleaning products. IQAir also operates air visual real-time air quality information platform. This is just for your information. India continues to feature prominently at the top of the most polluted cities now, as I said earlier. Besides Delhi, if at all we wanted to know what all other cities are there in India, 21 other Indian cities are the following. Right? Rafa? Rafa? Rafa?
Yes, sir.
What are you searching now? You are searching now something here?
No, sir.
No? You are not searching any names here? I think
Yeah, Karnataka, sir.
Karnataka, Bangalore you are searching. Am I right? Sorry for
Yes,
disappointing you.
sir.
Sorry for disappointing you. Bangalore is not there. Are you disappointed or happy?
Happy, sir.
Happy. Okay. So now that is just for your information. You may ask a question as to why CNG is better than diesel. You know? You know what is CNG? CNG is the gas. Many auto people, they use this gas. Why this compressed natural gas is better than diesel? The answer is that CNG burns most efficiently, unlike petrol or diesel in automobiles, and very little of it is left unburned. So complete burning will be there, just like what we use a gas stove, like that. So whenever the CNG is used, compressed natural gas is used, complete burning of this takes place without leaving any unburnt. Moreover, CNG is cheaper than petrol or diesel and cannot be siphoned off by thieves. Nobody can steal it. If at all, some vehicles are left on the roadside, thieves may steal this petrol, diesel, or even the stealing takes place in the petrol bunks itself. Am I right? Rakesh? Rakesh?
Yes, sir.
How they steal in the petrol bunk? You know at Bangalore better. How they steal at petrol bunk? Any idea? Prithviraj, have you come?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Lohit? Prithviraj, you tell me.
Yes, sir.
Prithviraj, you tell me. How the petrol or diesel is stolen in the petrol bunk? Any idea? Hello?
No, sir.
This stealing of the petrol in the petrol bunk is not the stealing that you do by the thief. What type of thief these are? These are the cheaters. Is it not that in the petrol bunk, sometimes you put 3 liters or 4 liters of petrol and you expect this petrol to give this much of mileage. But you come to know later that no, It was not showing, it was not giving that much mileage. And you may be knowing that many cases were reported where petrol in the petrol bunk itself, instead of putting you 1000 ml, they generally put about 900 ml or 950 ml, thereby stealing 100 or 50 ml while putting the petrol itself. So this type of stealing or that cannot be done in the CNG. Have you understood, Prithvi?
Yes, sir.
Is it that you are not riding vehicle at all? I think those who are riding vehicle, Navya is from Udupi. It is of no use because there are less thieves. Okay. Rakesh,
Yes, sir.
is it that while getting the fuel, you go any petrol bunk and get the fuel, or you go to a particular petrol bunk?
Petrol bunk.
Any petrol bunk?
Yes, sir.
Oh, then it's bad. You have to learn a lot. You know, there are many petrol bunks, good number of petrol bunks. More than 90% of the petrol bunks in case of Bangalore, they cheat people. They cheat people. Always we have to go to known petrol bunk where there is less cheating or no cheating. Anyhow, coming back, the main problem is the switching over to CNG, right? Harshvardhan? Harshvardhan?
Yes, sir.
What is the full form of CNG?
Compressed natural gas.
Yeah. The main problem in the switching over to CNG is the difficulty of laying down pipeline. Do you have CNG at Udupi? CNG at Udupi? Petrol bunk with the CNG? Rafa, you ride vehicle?
No, sir.
Blessy?
No, sir.
Rakshit? Sorry, not Rakshit. Who is that? Okay, I shall ask her. Charan? You are from other place. Now, who is that? Oh, Janani? Janani, Janmabhumi, Jano, Janani.
Yes, sir.
You do ride vehicle?
Not on the road, sir.
Okay. Your parents are, now I would like to know whether you have any idea that is there any petrol bunk in Udupi with the CNG facility? Gas?
I don't know, sir.
You don't know. Okay. So, the difficulty is that in most of the cities, it is not there because it is difficult to lay down pipeline to deliver the CNG to distribution points and pumps and ensuring uninterrupted supply. Therefore, in many cities, even the CNG has not started. Even in Bangalore, in very much limited places, we have CNG. Simultaneously, parallel steps taken in Delhi for reducing vehicular pollution include phasing out of old vehicles. Old vehicles are made to get retired very quickly. They are put out of use. Use of unleaded petrol, use of low sulfur level petrol and diesel, use of catalytic converters in vehicle, application of stringent pollution level norms for vehicles. So these are all methods followed at Delhi. What is the stringent pollution level norms for vehicle, right? You know, I think Navya is better in a position to tell, or it may be Sarvottam. Okay, Sarvottam,
Yes, sir.
you are riding vehicle, am I right?
Yes, sir.
Bike or what is it? Bike.
Bike or scooty, sir. Anything.
Okay. Now you know that once in 6 months you have to do something for that. You know what is that? Once in 6 months.
Service. Service.
Pardon? Huh?
Service, sir.
Not
Bike
service. Not that. Apart from service.
Re-oiling.
Otherwise, huh?
Re-oiling.
No. Otherwise, the
Emission
police will
test.
emission test. Emission test. Yeah. When the emission test of your bike got tested, you remember? You are from which place? Sarottam? Hello?
3 months, I think it got 3 months. Sir.
3 months.
Yes, sir.
Is it 3 months?
Yes, sir.
Lohit? Any idea?
No, sir.
Siddesh, Vishwas, is it that once in 3 months emission test has to be done? Or once in a year?
6 months. 6 months once something.
Who
6
told?
months once something.
Who told?
Charan sir.
Charan. Charan. Which bike you have?
Scooty sir.
Scooty. Yes, Charan is correct. Once in 6 months, you have to go for emission test. Charan. Once in 6 months. Okay. And interestingly, good number of youngsters, they do not go for emission test. And Charan, what you do when you see a police on the road? What you do? You are riding a bike. What you do when you see the police?
I turn back sir.
You turn back. Why?
I don't have license sir.
Oh, cat is out of the bag. This is what a Janani also does. Am I right, Janani? Janani?
No, sir.
No? You told, you don't take the vehicle out. Okay. This is what Navya does. Am I right, Navya? Navya?
No, sir.
Huh?
No,
Do you have license?
no, sir.
Then you go like that only.
No, sir, I don't go out.
You don't go out. So Charan turns the vehicle because he has no license. Charan's father turns the vehicle for, is it that he also does not have the license, Charan?
Yes sir.
He may also turn the vehicle back. Tell me, why?
Because
Why?
no documents.
For no documents, or for not testing, having emission test, or for not wearing
Helmet.
helmet. Have I told you at any time this story of this helmet? Hello?
No, sir.
Anissa?
No sir.
Did I say the event happened with my own close friend's son?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No? Okay. All of you should listen this very carefully. This is the right time to tell that. Okay? What is this? I have a friend by name Dr. Ravi. Dr. Ravi Raj. He is a pediatrician at Baindur. You know Baindur, am I right, Rafa? At Baindur, he is a pediatrician. And he was my close friend, Ravi Raj. We did MSc together. We are classmates in MSc. Okay. After MSc, Kanisa, after MSc, Ravi Raj did MBBS. After MSc, not after PUC, not after BSc. After MSc, he did MBBS. After MBBS, he did MD. After MD, he got a specialization in pediatrics. Okay. Are you hearing me, Kanisa?
Yes, sir.
Namrata? Diti?
Yes, sir.
Namrata, he is from near to your place. Okay. Have you heard of him?
No, sir.
No. After this MD, he got settled, he got married, and he got one son. And when I was in Udupi and all, I used to go to his place. When I was a professor at Kundapura and all, I used to go to his place, play with his son and all. I came to Bangalore in 2007, settled at Bangalore right from 2007. And after that, somehow we never had any connection. Even the telephonic talk also we never used to do. About few years back, say about I think 2-3 years back, one day, I happened to get his number, changed the number, and I just called him. And I just asked him, Dr. Ravi Raj, he used to call me Gopal, I used to call him Ravi. Ravi, ಹೇಗಿದ್ಯಪ್ಪ? ಫೈನ್. ಮತ್ತೆ ಮನೆಯವ್ರು ಹೇಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ? ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಗ ಈಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ? ಓ ಗೋಪಾಲ್, ನಿಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ವಾ? ಏನಪ್ಪ? ಮೈ ಸನ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಮೋರ್. ಮೈ ಸನ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಮೋರ್. ಓನ್ಲಿ ಸನ್, ನೋ ಮೋರ್. I was so shocked. I was so shocked. And then I asked, what, Ravi, what has happened? Did I say this before? Hello?
No, sir.
No?
No, sir.
Yeah. Then ask him, what, Ravi, what has happened? He started narrating the story. I was in tears. His son, when he was studying second PUC at Pune College, you know PPC, Rafa? At Pune College.
Yes.
When he was studying at PUC, Pune second PUC, one day evening, he went with his friend to KMC library, Manipal. KMC library for reference work. While returning from KMC, Navya, you know that at KMC there is a Tiger Square? Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. At the Tiger Square, when he was coming as a pillion rider with his friend, a bus got stuck. Bus hit from behind their bike. Both this Ravi's son and his friend, both of them, they fell down. Ravi's friend, who was riding the bike, got spot killed. And Ravi's son was in coma. He was in coma for 5 days. And he was found brain dead. And Ravi made all the body organs of his son to get donated to KMC hospital. And now, Ravi and his wife, they are living alone. Ravi requested me, Gopal, of course I have lost my son because of not wearing the helmet. Both of them were without helmet. But would you please tell this with your students by narrating this, and tell that at any cost they should not go out from their house, even for fetching milk or for fetching some that vegetables a little bit or whatever it may be. Whenever they move out from this home, you see that, you tell them, you request them to wear always the helmet. Are you understanding the seriousness of this? Have you realized it? Right? Yes? How many of you now promise me in today's morning session now, promise me that you will not move out here afterwards, even for 1 minute or 2 minutes without helmet. Whenever you learn driving, whenever you get the ability to ride the vehicle. I would like to know how many of you promise me now that yes, we will not ride vehicle at all without helmet. I am expecting you to raise your hand so that I will be knowing that at least I have done some justice to the departed soul of Ravi's son. I am expecting you to raise your hand, and so that I think only one student has raised his hand. Is it? "19 raised their hand. Out of 24, only 19 have raised their hand. I don't know whether others are hearing me or not. I'm not telling you, may say that, no, I am not now yourself a riding vehicle, but sure, one or the other day, you will learn driving and you definitely will move the vehicle. Definitely will move the vehicle. So it may appear for you, what is that? It happened with him, it may not. I hope. You know that something happened recently to one of the actors? Do you know? He got a road killed because of not wearing helmet at night. Who is that? Who is that? Have heard about him? Have you heard of an actor blossoming, budding, and made very good name? No? Prati? Rakesh?
No, sir.
You have not heard at all. Okay.
Sanchar Vijay, sir.
Yeah, Sanchar Vijay. I was surprised to know that you are not at Charan. Yes, Sanchar Vijay. He lost his life for not wearing the helmet. See, the thing is that when they meet with an accident, if at all they are killed, they are gone. The whole family has to suffer. They will be remembering throughout their life that a sad event. If at all they are made immovable, not dying, but getting lost some of the limbs and all, you see how much difficult it is for them to live afterwards. Therefore, my request is that please see that you are wearing the helmet the moment you just take the vehicle out, wherever it may be, whatever may be the shortest distance, and whether there's a traffic or no traffic. And more than that, there's also a style now. What is that style, Navya? What is that style, Navya?
Yes, sir.
What people do while driving the two-wheeler?
Talk on their phone.
That is different. With regard to helmet,
They put it on their hands.
yeah. Helmet is for hand or helmet is for head?
Head.
Then why you are putting in the hand?
I don't put it, sir.
You don't take helmet at all.
No. I put helmet when I'm riding.
You promise me, Navya, honestly, without lying, have you not moved your vehicle at any time without helmet?
No, sir. I'm always wearing helmet.
Not even a single time?
No, sir. Even while practice, I wear helmet.
Good girl. Keep it up. God bless you. Right? Namrata, what you do?
I wear helmet, sir.
100%?
Sometimes, sir.
Now you are caught. Would you please do whatever I said now?
Yes, sir.
Hereafterwards?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now coming back to that. Coming back to our subject. Are you seeing this screen?
Sure.
Yes? Okay. The government of India, through a new auto fuel policy, has laid out a roadmap to cut down vehicular pollution in Indian cities. So, what I wanted to tell you, always have this emission test. Your vehicle tested for emission of the gases, and it is very much required. And this has to be done once in 6 months. And also, we have to always move these two-wheelers with the helmet on head. The government of India, through a new auto fuel policy, has laid out a roadmap to cut down vehicular pollution in Indian cities. More stringent norms for fuels means steadily reducing the sulfur and aromatic content in petrol and diesel. What is most required? We see that in the fuel, the sulfur level is getting reduced. Euro 2 norms. I'll be giving you the different norms. Euro 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At present, it is Euro 6 norm is running. Euro 2 norms, for example, stipulate that sulfur be controlled at 350 parts per million. Very important. Sulfur should be controlled at 350 parts per million in diesel and 150 parts per million in petrol. we have to control it to this level. When Euro 2 norms said it, now it is different. We are coming to that point. Okay. At that time, when Euro 2 norms was introduced, it was said that there should be less than 350 parts per, or not more than 350 parts million of sulfur in diesel and 150 in petrol. Aromatic hydrocarbons are to be contained at 42% of the concerned fuel. It should be within 42%. The goal, according to the roadmap, is to reduce sulfur to 50 ppm in petrol and diesel and bring down the level and diesel and bring the level to 35%. Their aim, their goal was to reduce the sulfur level to 50 in petrol and 35%. Okay, so in the diesel, corresponding to the fuel, vehicle engines will also need to be upgraded. That is another point. Now, what you see here, Bharat stage 2, Euro stage equivalent to Euro, Euro means Euro, equivalent to Euro, Bharat stage 2, which is currently in place in Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Ahmedabad, Pune, Surat, Kanpur, will be applicable to all automobiles throughout the country from April 1 to 2005. This is also outdated. Now, we have no Bharat stage 2 or Euro 2. We have much advanced, and at present it is Euro 6. So, all automobiles and fuel control diesel were to have met to Euro 3 emission specification in these 11 cities from April 2005. That's also over. Euro 4 norms in April 2000, that's also over. As I said, now we are not following Euro 2, Euro 3, Euro 4, Euro 5. At present, it is Euro 6. The rest of the country will have Euro 3 emission from the compliant automobiles and fuels by 2010. That's also over. Thanks to efforts made, the air quality of Delhi has significantly improved. According to an estimate, a substantial fall in CO2 and sulfur dioxide level has been found in Delhi in between 1097 to 2005, but the present scenario is different. I would like to say, what is its Bharat stage or Euro? Bharat stage emission standard, BSES, are emission standard instituted by Government of India to regulate the output of air pollutants. It is to regulate the output of the air pollutant, and that is why your emission test is done. From compression ignition engines, spark ignition engines equipment, including motor vehicle. The standards and timeline for implementation are set by Central Pollution Control Board, very important. Central Pollution Control Board, CPCB, under the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. What it says, what is the Bharat stage emission standard says, emission test, this is what you have. At present, please remember, now we have this one, Bharat stage 6, also referred to as Euro 6. It got implemented in the 2018 in Delhi, 2019 in NCR, National Capital Region, NCR, and 2020 nationwide. Now, all of us, we are governed by this Euro 6, Bharat stage 6. So what this Bharat stage 6 or Euro 6, it tells? Are you following me, Vismita? Vismita? Vismita,
Yes, sir.
are you following me?
Yes, sir.
What did I say just now?
You told about Euro 6.
Euro 6. So, according to Euro 6, look here, this is Euro 6 measures. How much can be Euro 6, Bharat stage 6 norms? What is that? Petrol using vehicle can have, of course, there are 3 classes here. Class 1, Class 2, Class 3. Okay. Class 1 include power-driven vehicle. Class 2 includes power-driven vehicles having at least 4 wheels, 2 wheels, like that. So you just know what it may be. Carbon monoxide, CO, permitted level of this air pollutant coming out from the vehicle is 0.5, 0.63 or 0.74. These are the different types of vehicle, class 1, class 2, class 3. So these are the pollutants. How much is permitted? This is what permitted. No hydrocarbons permitted. Right? What should be? HC plus nitrous oxides, nitric oxides. This is what. So your emission test is done for our sake only. Most of the time, you don't take a vehicle and have this emission test done regularly at the interval of 6 months. Many times, you youngsters, you see police on the road, you will be knowing that you'll be caught for one or the other document fault, and immediately you turn vehicle and try to go by another road. That's not good. You must follow this emission test strictly. Sharon, understood? Understood?
Yes, sir.
You have to tell your father also. Okay. Now, the thing is that enlisted here are some major benefits of Bharat Stage 6. I don't want to deal with that. Now, the thing is that is it Delhi is highly polluted only because of the vehicle? Come on. Is it Delhi is the number one polluted capital city in the world? Is it is only due to the vehicles?
No, sir.
Then,
No, sir.
then,
Because of slash and burn in Punjab.
yeah, who said it?
Charan.
Charan, good, hero, star of the day. Because of the burning of what is known as, say, stubble burning. Do you know what is this? Can you tell me what is this? Charan, can you tell me what this
Slash
picture
and
is?
burn, sir.
Yeah, this is what the slash and burn. These are all, 1 minute I shall ask. Who will tell me? Girls. Please tell me what are these? What are these? Any girl. Nadira, Tanusri, Jayasri, Savitri, Vismita, Aisha, Kanisa, Jessie, Blessy, Janani, Kavita, Navya, Namrata, Dyuti. Anyone? What are these?
The remaining of the plants after the crop is grown.
Pardon?
Remaining after the crop is grown.
Who is telling this? Janani. It is a crop residue. After the food crops were harvested, the straw part, all are left like this. To what extent? Hectares together, whatever you see here, hectares together it was left like that, and then it was burnt. You know what happens? Whenever these are burnt, these pollutants, gases, which get released, they are released to the air, and that is the main reason, and this is what is called stubble burning. Stubble burning is one of the main reasons for the pollution. In and around Delhi, Haryana, Punjab, these are the states present very close to Delhi, and all the farmers are doing this one. Every farmer. On the other hand, if at all they leave this crop residue just for some time, if it rains, if it starts natural decomposing, it will be very good for the soil itself. But they don't do. They just burn that and release its pollutants, make the pollutants to get released to the atmosphere, thereby affecting the life of the so many people, not only at Punjab and Haryana, even in a neighboring state like Delhi. Right? So, in India, the Air Act, Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act, came into force in 1981. This is another important part. In India, Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act came into force in 1981, but was amended in 1987 to include noise as an air pollutant. So you have heard something. What has happened in 1986? Some act came. What is that?
Environment Protection Act.
Environment Protection Act. This is in 1981. Prior to that, the Air Act, Prevention and Control of Pollution Act, came into force in 1981, but it was amended to include noise as an air pollutant in 1987. Prior to that, Environment Protection Act came in 1986. You must remember what act came in 1981, what act came in 1986, what act came in 1987. Noise is undesired high level of sound. What is noise? Right? It is very difficult to explain. Is it not? Is it not? Many times when you are all small children, when your mom was talking to, her friend, neighbor, okay, her friend, neighbor, is it not that your mom might have shouted at you? They were seriously talking about another friend of them, and you are troubling them. You are making some trouble. Is it not that she might have told you, hey, galata madbeda, hogache? Am I right? Galata madbeda, hogache? Is it not that your mom might have told you like that? No? No? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Rakesh? Yes. So this noise, for that, the noise it is. But is it not that, Kanisa, you were playing this music in high pitch, and at that time your mother asking you, hey, how loudly you are putting? Reduce the volume. Am I right, Kanisa?
Yes, sir.
So this is how I know telepathy. So this is what also noise. So noise is a relative term. So noise is an undesired high level of sound. If you are listening many times, you may be participating in the college function, you have put high pitch that, and you wanted to get a full Josh, and you are stepping to that music, dancing and all. At that time, it will be noise for all other elderly people. For you, it is a very welcome sound. So we have got used to associate loud sounds with the pleasure. This is what the pleasure Canisa used to get with high pitch of sound while playing the music. We have got used to associate the loud sounds with the pleasure and entertainment, not realizing that noise causes psychological and physiological disorders in humans. Continuous exposure to noise, it brings about psychological and physiological disorders in human beings. I hope you understand my point, right? The bigger the city, the bigger the function, the greater the noise. Bigger the city, bigger the function, greater is the noise. A brief exposure to extremely high sound level, 150 dB or more than that, generated by takeoff of a jet plane, aeroplane, or rocket may damage eardrums, thus permanently impairing hearing ability. Impairing means spoiling hearing ability, destroying your hearing ability. So always the noise sound above 150 is very much detrimental. Even chronic exposure, chronic means continuous, lifetime. Even chronic exposure, lifetime exposure to relatively lower noise level of cities may permanently damage hearing abilities of humans. Continuous exposure to noise level may be a little bit low, but it also affect damage hearing abilities of humans. I hope you understand my point. Noise also causes sleeplessness. Many times, if at all you happen to go to Bangalore, come to Bangalore, and you are staying in one particular apartment or a residence, and nearby that there is a road in which there are vehicles are moving all the 24 hours, even day and night. You see that vehicles are moving here. So all 24 hours they are moving at night also. If at all you are from Udupi or Kundapura like that without much pollution, air pollution, noise pollution, if you happen to come and sleep here, you because of the continuous movement of vehicle, you may get a sleepless night on that day. So noise also causes sleeplessness, increased heart beating, altered breathing pattern, thus considerably stressing humans, right? You know, when some flyover or some roads got, I think, a flyover or metro, when it started getting put Lata Mangeshkar, who expired recently. Lata Mangeshkar requested the government, please don't lay that road nearby my house. I am old aged. I get very much disturbed by this. But the government did not heed to that. Okay, that's it. So always whenever these big roads are constructed, the people around that they are suffered because of noise pollution. Considering the many dangerous effects of noise pollution, can you identify the unnecessary sources of noise pollution around you, which can be reduced immediately without any financial loss to anybody? Right? Okay. Shall I tell one of the measures that I took? Are you interested to reduce the noise pollution? You are interested to know?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Listen to me. I came to Bangalore in 2007 and yeah, I joined immediately one of the institutions to prepare the students for a medical course. Every day I was moving my car. Okay. I was moving car to the office and to return. One day when I was moving the car, a guy like Prati or Rakesh, he just came on. I was putting that the glass down, glass up. I was driving with air condition on. A boy came at the side, two-wheeler. He just stopped his bike here. It was signal point. There's a signal. Okay, we are all made to stop. He just came here. He just stopped nearby me. He just knocked the glass. I lowered it. He just coolly told me, Uncle, if you don't mind, would you please minimize horning? Honking it is called. Minimize honking? I was surprised. Is it that I honk too much? Yes, uncle. You repeatedly honk. I was not knowing. It was in 2000 when I came from Manipal to Bangalore. I brought my car also. And what happened? Because this Bangalore has so too much of traffic when compared to Udupi Mangalore, it may be true that I was repeatedly honking. Whenever the vehicle used to come in front or whenever I used to follow, if at all they used to slow down like that. Without my knowledge, I used to honk that much. I learned later when I started taking care whether I'm applying horn like that. And that was an eye opener. I told that boy, good, let me do that. I did not get irritated, but that boy opened my eyes. He made me to realize that I was also becoming responsible for this noise pollution. So that is thing. And after that, I stopped honking, whatever may be the reason, generally, stopped absolutely. But minimum, now, whenever it is required, I honk. Otherwise, no. Right? So this is what I'm telling. Unnecessary, identify the unnecessary sources of noise pollution around you, which can be reduced immediately without any financial loss to anybody. Right? So I did not get angry on him. He opened my eyes. So what I wanted to give the message, whoever it may be, whether they are younger to you in your age, or whether it's a poor fellow, whomever it may be, if at all they say something that is really true, you have to follow it. Diti, are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is it right on the part of that boy or not?
No, sir.
No? It is not right? Hello? I think then you have not heard it properly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry.
What is it? What that boy did to me? Hello? what that boy did to me. Tanusri?
Yes, sir.
Tanusri, what that boy did to me? ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ದ?
He opened your eyes.
ಏನು in what way he opened my eyes? Karnataka
Not to make noise pollution. Not to make noise pollution.
Not to put to the horn too much. Okay, Jyoti, you did not hear this properly. You are somewhere outside. Right? Reduction of noise in our industries can be affected by use of sound absorbent materials or by muffling the noise, diffusing the noise. Stringent following of laws laid down in relation to noise, like a delimitation of horn-free zones around the hospital. I hope you know, around the hospitals and schools, you are not supposed to horn. Permissible sound levels of crackers and loudspeakers. This is another thing. Loudspeaker is creating so much problem. You know, the temples, the churches, the masjids, why that they should use this loudspeaker? What is the need of the day? What is the need? To whom they are putting this loudspeaker? Those who want to go to temple, those who want to go church, those who want to go masjid, let them come inside and pray whatever they want. Why we are disturbing the people outside of the religious places? I say, whether it is a masjid, or it is a church, or it is a temple, we should see that the loudspeakers are totally banned. Or, if you only want, the sound should be heard by the people who are inside the temple, inside the church, or inside the masjid, and not outside. Do you agree with me? Do you agree with me? Hello? Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, this is the need. This is the need. See, you just imagine, there is one aged person in his residence, at his residence, near a temple. If at all this loudspeaker is put in the temple whole day, is it not that his health gets affected? Is it not that if at all a patient is sleeping, all of a sudden, Ajahn is made, Ajahn is produced, is it that he is going to get affected? Every religious places should keep it in mind, this fact. So that is what I say. And even whatever the crackers you are using, for whatever purpose, don't use. You can minimize noise pollution, you can minimize air pollution. And also, the timings of the loudspeakers using is also usage, is also should be strictly monitored. It should be strictly enforced to protect ourselves from noise pollution. Right? Now, let us study water pollution and its control. So far, we have learnt about air pollution and noise pollution. Human beings have been abusing water bodies around the world by disposing into them all kinds of waste. What do you mean by abusing? Using in a correct way is, wrong way is abusing. Whenever, see, for your information, whenever I was a small child, whenever I was going to school, second standard, third standard, like that, I was told, if at all any bulb, of course, when I was in a primary school, we never had electricity. When we are going, say, in a high school level like that, whatever you don't want, I was brought up in the village, okay, and within 200 meters of distance, we had a river in my native place, Manipura. There is a perennial river. the water used to flow in this all throughout the year. Whenever we used to come across any waste, whatever it is not required, we were taught to take it and throw it to river. If at all any bulb gets burnt, throw it to the river. Tube light, throw it to the river. All this dirt, whatever, we never wanted it. We used to just to throw it to the river. So that is what we say. Human beings have been abusing, wrongly using the water bodies around the world by disposing into them all kinds of waste. We used to go to river to take bath. We used to go river to wash our clothes. Right? We tend to believe that water can wash away everything, not taking cognizance, not taking into consideration, ಏನಪ್ಪ ಏನಾಗಿರೋದು? So, coming back here, I hope you see, we tend to, okay, right. I hope you are understanding my point. So, we tend to believe that water can wash away everything, not taking into consideration the fact that water bodies are our lifeline, as well as that of all other living organisms. If water is there, we have the life. If there is no water, we are going to get affected so much so. But we think that water is there for all purposes, for everything, for living or for disposing of waste. Can you list out what all we tend to try and wash away through our rivers and drains? My dear students, if at all I say, you may laugh at me. What is it? When we are all small children, I said, nearby my house, there is a river, even now. Whenever we used to go to nature call, when we were small children, we used to go to nature call just to pass the nature call just beneath the coconut tree, In a coconut, at base of the coconut tree, we used to sit there and pass the nature call in the open area. Then we used to just come down to the river and we used to wash our anal region. Okay. And the same, of course, the water used to flow, Water used to flow. And in the morning, we used to come here and take bath. Take bath here. And we used to wash our anal region here and water used to go. And of course, whatever it may be, even take bath here and wash it here also, the water is not stagnant, it used to flow. Is it not that the same river is used by some other person to have anal wash here? Anal wash here? Now, are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. This is what I have been brought up. At that time, we never used to have this your toilets. Only women used to go to toilet in villages. Even now, today, in the villages, men invariably, they go to their cropland. Whenever they go to cropland, they pass their excreta there. It is still in practice. So, you list what all we tend to try and wash away through river days, you must know. Right? Due to such activities of humankind, the ponds, lakes, streams, rivers, estuaries, and oceans are becoming polluted in several parts of the world. Even our oceans are becoming polluted. I hope you might have heard. At the certain bottom region of certain ocean, here and there, you come across several tons of this plastic bottle accumulation. Several tons of plastic bottles are found at a great depth of the, or at a certain depth of the ocean. Realizing importance of maintaining the cleanliness of the water bodies, Government of India has sponsored Water Prevention and Control Pollution Act in 1974. You have to remember 1981, you have to remember 1986, you have to remember 1987, now it is 1974. Water Prevention and Control Pollution Act was introduced to safeguard our water resources. Now, who will tell me quickly about the 1981, 1986, 1987, 1990, 1974 acts? Come on. Come on. Come on. Who will tell me quickly the different acts passed in these different years? Come on.
In 1981, Air Pollution Control Act was passed.
Yeah.
Along with it, in 1987, it was made compulsory to include sound pollution in it.
Hmm.
And in 1986, Environment Protection Act was passed.
Good. And in 1974, it is easy to Vismitha?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. In 1974, Water Prevention Control Pollution Act got introduced. Right? 1974. This you have to remember. Domestic sewage and industrial effluent. These are the two different things. Domestic sewage is the one which comes out from the houses and all, our residences. Industrial effluents are the effluents coming from the industries. As we work with water in our homes, in the cities and towns, we wash everything into drain. We wash everything, we let it to go in the water. Have you ever wondered where the sewage that comes out of our houses go? Do you know, Navya? Do you know the sewage that comes out of your house, where it goes?
No, sir.
No, because you are not interested. Why I should know? Sir, do you think that I don't have any other work? She may ask me. What happens in villages? Is the sewage treated before being transported to the nearest river and mixed with it? You answer this question? Sharan, Chinmayi, Harshvardhan, Vishwas, Sarvotam, Siddesh. Is the sewage treated before being transported to the nearest river and mixed with it?
No, sir.
Chinmay, what is happening at your places? What is happening? You don't know? Remember, a mere 0.1% of the impurities, a mere 0.1% impurities make domestic sewage unfit for human use. Even 0.1% of impurity of the water makes the water unfit for our use. See, 99.9% water is so pure. Impurity is only 0.1. And you know, this is 0.1 impurity, maybe due to suspended solids like sand, silt, clay, colloidal material, example, fecal matter, bacteria, cloth and paper fibers, dissolved nutrients like nutrients, nitrate, ammonia, phosphate, sodium, calcium. If this impurity is of 0.1% with any of these, that makes the water not good for our use. This is now whenever we say water gets impure, it is with these impurities. And all these together may constitute only 0.1%, even then water is not worth for human use. You have read about the sewage treatment plant in the chapter 10. Have you studied sewage treatment plant? Yes, I have taught it. Solids are relatively easy to remove. Solids, they get settled in the bottom. You can easily remove them. What is most difficult is to remove are dissolved salts such as nitrates, phosphates, other nutrients, and toxic metal ions and organic compounds. So you can remove the solid waste. You can also remove the floating debris. But what is problem is to remove the dissolved nitrates, phosphates, and other nutrients, including metals and organic compounds. Domestic sewage. What do you mean by domestic sewage? the sewage that comes out from households, from residences. Domestic sewage primarily contains biodegradable organic matter. Most of the time, the wastewater that comes out from our houses include biodegradable organic matter, which readily decomposes. There is no problem. This wastewater that is coming out from our day-to-day use in the houses can be readily decomposed thanks to the bacteria and fungi that are present in them, which can multiply using these organic substances. Whatever the kitchen wastewater comes out from your kitchen, it is readily decomposes because bacteria and fungi find their food in it. So these bacteria and other microorganisms can multiply using these organic substances as a substrates and hence utilize some of the components of sewage. So some of the components of sewage are perfectly removed by the bacteria and other microorganisms because it forms the food for them. So where it is a domestic sewage. So the problem is always with the industrial sewage. It is possible to estimate the amount of biodegradable organic matter in sewage water by measuring biochemical oxygen demand. I have already told you about this. What is biochemical oxygen demand? So this is how much oxygen is required by the microorganisms present in a particular water source, say sewage water. So it is possible to estimate the amount of biodegradable organic matter in a sewage water by you measuring biochemical oxygen. What is that? In the chapter on microorganisms, you have read about relation between BOD, microorganisms, and the amount of biodegradable matter. Yes, Vismita, can you remember if the BOD, biochemical oxygen demand, is very high, is it that water is most polluted or less polluted? Vismita,
Yes, sir.
can you tell me the relationship between biochemical oxygen demand, BOD, and sewage water? What is that? Can you recall? Anyone else?
Sir, if BOD is more, pollution is more.
Pollution is more. It is highly polluted. If the biological oxygen demand is more, it is highly polluted. So, look here. This graph, it shows effect of sewage discharge on some important characteristic of a river. What is happening? So here, look here, this is the flow of water, direction of flow. Here, water is flowing this way. Now, you see that the sewage got discharged here. In this point, sewage got discharged. What happens? If you see that where the sewage got discharged, this blue line, BOD is high, biological oxygen demand is high, where the sewage got discharged. At the same time, the earlier, whenever that dissolved oxygen is very high here, suddenly the moment that sewage got discharged to that point, the dissolved oxygen level comes down. Biological oxygen demand goes up. So now this dissolved oxygen level comes down in the water. So this results in fish kill. And this addition of this sewage results in the disappearance of clean water. After some time, when the water is allowed to flow, this biological oxygen demand, it was very high, gradually it comes down. The dissolved oxygen, it was very low, gradually it raises up. Okay? So in this way, you can always say that the BOD is related to the pollution of the water. More the pollution of water with the sewage and all, more it is polluted, more is the BOD, biological oxygen demand. Less is the dissolved oxygen there. Why that oxygen level, which was very high, that oxygen, it comes down immediately because the microbes, they start making use of that. And this, microbes, since they start feeding on the sewage and all, the biological oxygen demand gradually in the water is moving, it comes down. The dissolved oxygen which has gone down, gradually it comes up. So I hope this you have understood. Any doubt? Is it clear? Or you have still doubt? Come on. Microorganisms involved in biodegradation of organic matter. Now again, let me tell you, this is the water that is flowing. Okay, water is flowing in this direction. At one point, we are adding sewage to the water. This is the point where sewage is added. Sewage is made to join the river. Microorganisms involved in biodegradation of organic matter in the receiving water body consumes a lot of oxygen. So earlier in the clear water, oxygen level, dissolved oxygen level was very high. In the clear water, dissolved oxygen level was very high. The moment this sewage is added, the microorganisms involved in biodegradation of organic matter in the receiving water body consumes a lot of oxygen. So immediately oxygen level comes down. Are you following me? Vishwas, Siddesh, Harshvardhan.
Yes, sir.
As a result, there is a sharp decline in the dissolved oxygen. You come across sharp decline in the dissolved oxygen. Downstream from the point of sewage discharge. Downstream from the point of discharge. This causes mortality of fish and other aquatic creatures. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸೀವೇಜ್ ಬಂದು ಸೇರ್ತದೋ ಒಂದು ಹೊಳೆಗೆ ನದಿಗೆ ಸೀವೇಜ್ ಬಂದು ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತದೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕೆ? ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾಗಳಿದ್ದಾವಲ್ಲ ಅವುಗಳು ಅಲ್ಲಿದ್ದದ್ದು ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತವೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇ ವಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಡಿಕಾಂಪೋಸ್ ದಟ್ ಸೀವೇಜ್ whatever organic matter present sewage. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಕಡಿತದೆ. ಬಯಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಡಿಮಾಂಡ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಮಾಂಡ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಬಯಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಡಿಮಾಂಡ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಇವುಗಳು ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. So this causes mortality of fish and other. ಒಮ್ಮೆ that this particular sewage got acted upon by bacteria and all, gradually whatever the oxygen level has come down, gradually it starts again getting up. So dissolved oxygen level again goes up. So what you should remember, in the more polluted water, there is always more is the biological BOD and less is the oxygen present, right? So presence of large amounts of nutrients in water also causes excessive growth of plankton. See, you can see all green here. It is very common during summer season and all, because it is due to the excessive growth of algae, free floating planktonic algae called algal bloom, which imparts a distinct color to water bodies. In most of the time during summer season and all, you see in the small lakes, ponds, etc., the water to become more and more greenish in color. It is due to the excessive growth of planktonic free floating algae, which imparts a distinct color to the water bodies. Algal blooms cause a deterioration of water quality and fish mortality. So algal blooms, they cover the entire surface and they deteriorate water quality and fish mortality. Some bloom forming algae are extremely toxic to human beings and animals. You may have seen the beautiful mauve-colored flowers found on the very appealing shaped floating plants in water bodies. I am referring to that of water hyacinth, Eichhornia. These plants, which are introduced into India for their lovely flowers, were caused havoc by their excessive growth by causing blocks in our waterways. Look here. I will show you. This is what. If you see that this is a lake with water, but you can't see the water at all. What you see, these are all the flowers and these are the plants of water hyacinth, Eichhornia steps. When this is a condition, no more oxygen can get dissolved in water. Whatever that oxygen is there, that is used up by the planktons which are present there. Down below, whatever the fishes live, they will not get sufficient oxygen to breathe. All the organisms present down below this, they die. They get killed without getting sufficient oxygen. See, this is the Eichhornia, right? This is a weed, and it cuts the light. It brings down the dissolved oxygen level also, right? So they grow faster than our ability to remove them. Which one? Water hyacinth. These are plants of what hyacinth Eichhornia crassipus, the world's most problematic aquatic weed called terror of Bengal. In all the lakes of India, you have this terror of Bengal. You have Eichhornia. You cannot remove it at all because there is no natural predator. And even a small piece, what do you call that? What do you call that? A small piece is sufficient to just to make the plant to regrow. What do you call this a small piece? What do you call this small piece?
Offset.
Offset. Is it Canisa or a Blessy?
Kenisa, sir.
Canisa. Good. Okay. So offset. Right. 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 They grow abundantly in eutrophic water bodies and lead to an imbalance in ecosystem dynamics of the water body. What do you mean by eutrophic? Eutrophication means well nourished. A lake or pond well nourished, eutroph, is a limnological term. Limnology refers to study of fresh water. Limnology, limnology, limnology. Visvita Barko, limnology means the study of, please all of you note down, study of freshwater, limnology. So eutrophication is a limnological term for the process by which a body of water becomes progressively enriched with minerals and nutrients. It is a well-nourished water body, eutrophication. Water bodies with a very low nutrient level are termed oligotrophic, and those with a moderate nutrient level are termed mesotrophic. So you have eutrophic, oligotrophic, mesotrophic. Mesotrophic means with a moderate amount of nutrients. Oligotrophic means with very low. Oligo means low, with very low nutrient level. Right? Have you taken on this point? Okay? Clear? Okay. We have to take up this is eutrophic water body with the luxuriant growth of these plants. Okay, I shall stop it here. I shall continue from here in my next class, and we are going to complete this chapter in this week. Okay, that is from Monday to next Sunday. Within that, I'm going to finish this chapter. Okay,